80 going through Parley's Canyon, going by the East Canyon exit, that's one spot, and then going from Kimball Junction over to Silver Creek, that's the other. I-15 continues to look good in Utah County. It's a northbound drive of 24 minutes from Spanish Fork to Point of the Mountain. It's time to get your tickets for Utah Symphony and Utah Opera this season. Right now, get the best available main floor seats for just $25 at usuo.org/on sale. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today is going to be a beautiful day, 87 for a high, lots of sunshine. We do have some smoke in the air to deal with today and tomorrow. Let's see, tomorrow 92. Our next chance of thunderstorms looks like Monday. Right now it's 57 degrees downtown.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good morning. KSL News Time is 8 o'clock. This is Utah's Morning News. I'm Amanda Dixon. Tim has the day off. KSL's top story this hour. The rivalry football game between Provo and Timpview High School tonight has been canceled after a series of threats were made online. KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff is following this developing story for us live. Don?
Amanda, the principal of Timpview High School, says she became aware of social media stories that spewed hate and violence toward Provo High School's coaching staff and their families, as well as their players. She says because there's not enough time to investigate and intervene, they have decided to cancel tonight's game. In a letter sent to the Provo City School District community, Principal Mami Tua offers an apology to those threatened in the stories. The athletic director at Timpview says this game will not be made up this year. Reporting live, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
A handful of college football games went on as planned last night, including a blowout win for the Utah Utes over Southern Utah. KSL News Radio's Mark Jackson has more.
6 of the 49 points the Utes scored last night were courtesy of Isaac Wilson, little brother of former BYU and now NFL QB Zach Wilson, who was at last night's season opener to show support. The younger Wilson finished with 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. But it was the Cam Rising and Brant Keithy show Thursday night, back in prime time following last season's injuries. Rising lighting it up for 5 touchdowns in the first half. Keithy posting 4 receptions for 3 touchdowns. Big 12 Baylor Bears come calling next Saturday. Kickoff at Rice-Eccles Stadium set for 1:30 on Fox Network. Mark Jackson, KSL News Radio.
Tomorrow night, BYU's football team kicks off their season with the Cougars taking on an FCS school that has a track record of beating bigger schools. KSL News Radio's Alessandra Gurr joins us live with more. Alessandra?
Amanda, the Cougars will be taking on a top 10 ranked FCS opponent, Southern Illinois, their first game against the Salukis. BYU is currently undefeated against FCS opponents with an 18-0 record. Southern Illinois is coming into this game with a lot of motivation and confidence after winning their last 2 games against FBS opponents. BYU head coach Kalani Sitake says they're prepared.
We're planning to do a lot of different things. We have a lot of options, and the goal is to get the win.
Southern Illinois has yet to beat a Big 12 opponent, but did win against Northern Illinois and Northwestern in their last 2 seasons. Reporting live, Alessandra Gurr, KSL News Radio.
We have a jam-packed day of football coverage tomorrow here on KSL News Radio with Cougar Sports Saturday starting at noon, BYU's pregame starting at 4, and then the kick at 6 o'clock. Utah State starts their season tomorrow night hosting Robert Morris in Logan. The Aggies will be led by an interim coach after their head coach was fired earlier this summer. Weber State is on the road playing the Washington Huskies. KSL's top national stories this hour. Border security and fracking were among the questions asked to Vice President Kamala Harris in her first in-depth interview since becoming the Democratic nominee.
Asked on CNN about policy reversals, VP Harris says what hasn't changed are her values, like on border security.
I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California, prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border.
Also on oil and gas mining.
As Vice President, I did not ban fracking. As President, I will not ban fracking.
The mining technique helped make the U.S. the world leader in oil production.
ABC's Chuck Sievertson says the CNN interview also included questions for Harris's running mate, Governor Tim Walz. Former President Donald Trump held a town hall in Wisconsin last night where he spent time criticizing the leadership of Vice President Kamala Harris.
She didn't look like a leader to me, I'll be honest. I don't see her negotiating with President Xi of China. I don't see her with Kim Jong-un like we did with Kim Jong-un.
He also spoke more about an idea to make insurance companies and the government cover IVF treatments. First look traffic now, and here is Andy Farnsworth.
Well, right now, travelers backed up on Highway 6 in Spanish Fork. Some malfunctioning traffic lights at 800 North, which is by the McDonald's, has traffic backed up for one driver said he's been in it for 25 minutes to try to get to I-15 from the mouth of Spanish Fork Canyon. And it looks like same problem on Mountain View Corridor right now in Riverton at 132nd South. Both sides, the north and southbound side of Mountain View, are having to go through that intersection as it affects a stop sign. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
Health officials in Wisconsin are confirming 2 people have died from a West Nile virus infection. Nearly 300 cases have been reported across more than 30 states, including here in Utah. ABC's Perry Russum has more.
In Missouri, 18-year-old John Proctor now on a ventilator after contracting the virus. His parents say his symptoms began with a headache and dizziness, then vomiting, disorientation, and a fever.
My son was a healthy, athletic individual.
Officials are also warning about Triple E, another rare but potentially lethal mosquito-borne virus.
Meteorologists say warming weather patterns increase the risk of mosquito-borne diseases like West Nile. A senior at UNC Chapel Hill is now the youngest woman to reach the edge of space. 21-year-old Carson Kitchen went up with 5 other people in a Blue Origin rocket launched from the company's Texas spaceport. She spoke to ABC's Danny New about her childhood dream coming true.
I have so many memories of me going outside when I was younger at night and looking up into the stars and the moon and just seeing the night sky. And I would come in and I was like, yo, I'm going to be an astronaut.
Kitchen is an intern with Blue Origin. Her father is a professor at UNC who took a similar trip to space 2 years ago. It seems we get hit up for a tip just about everywhere now. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera spoke to a Utahn who moved overseas where tipping didn't exist.
I asked listeners on Instagram to weigh in on the tipping debate. And Jared Smith sent me a voice note that overseas is a total culture change for him.
Living in Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, UAE, none of these places have tipping. You go in, you eat your meal, you pay for what you ordered, and then you leave.
Local bartender Theo Voris, who lives on tips, said he's baffled at the tip screen at certain places.
There's even days where I sit back and wonder, who am I supposed to tip and who am I not supposed to tip?
Voris noted his position makes $2.15 an hour, so tips are vital to pay the rent. Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
I-15 looks good along the Wasatch Front. Getting to the freeway might be an issue for Spanish Fork drivers. We'll explain when we check traffic and weather together coming up next.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station, as close as your pocket.
I usually go to the KSL app.
Because it's on your phone, you have such a wide ability to choose what you're listening to.
That's the only news app that I use.
Listen anytime, anywhere with the KSL News Radio app.
This is Todd Frayton's heart. He's begun his wellness journey. This is its sound on a treadmill, at a slight incline, on a stroll through the forest. And this is the heart of Maria Sanchez, his physician. What's it doing here? A lot, actually, because when we partner with you, we don't just offer a strategic plan and status updates. We put our hearts into it, beat for beat. We call it the power of we, Intermountain Health.
Nearly 70% of Utah's land is controlled by the federal government, severely limiting Utah's ability to actively manage and protect our natural resources. Our families, businesses, and communities know there's a better way. Utahns have been good stewards of our public lands for generations. That's why we're asking each and every Utahn to get informed, speak up, and learn more at standforourland.utah.gov.
UCCU Mobile Banking now comes with Learn and Earn, a fun way to learn about money. Learn and Earn breaks down financial topics into fun, bite-sized games like quizzes and trivia for your entire family. Every time someone in your family completes a game, they earn points towards gift cards from Apple, Amazon, Walmart, and a lot more. The more you play, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you earn. Visit uccu.com/learn to start learning and earning today. Everyone knows that having a good credit history makes it easier to save money and get approved for the things in life you need, like credit cards, auto loans, home loans, and a lot more. But here's the problem. Building your credit history takes time. That's why UCCU created Credit Builder, an innovative loan program designed to help you build your credit history and raise your credit score. Visit uccu.com to start building or rebuilding your credit today. UCCU. Love where you bank.
And the news is brought to you by UCCU. Love where you bank. 8:09 traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Back to you, Andy.
And right now, Amanda, travel in Salt Lake County. I'm watching the northbound drive on I-15. It's fine. The big delay right now is actually down on Mountain View Corridor with some traffic lights not working at 132nd South. That's the intersection by the Costco at Mountain View. And traffic is backed up all the way through the 13400 South intersection because people are having to treat it as a stop sign instead of a traffic light. Heather?
We haven't had too many issues this morning in Weber and Davis counties. For the most part, traffic has been at speed the entire morning on I-15, US 89, Legacy Parkway. You do have lane restrictions northbound Legacy going through Bountiful and Centerville. Only one right shoulder is open, but there's not enough traffic right now to cause any type of backup. Eric?
Traffic lights aren't working in Spanish Fork on Highway 6 at 800 North, and so everybody's treating that as a four-way stop, and that's a big intersection down there. The backups are significant. Trying to get over to the freeway from Center Street to where this is happening, that's a 20-plus minute drive, according to one of our traffic troopers. I-15 throughout Utah County, once you get there, that's in good shape, 30 minutes from Santaquin all the way up to Point of the Mountain. Two Brothers Mattress is having their huge Labor Day sale. Save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Visit one of their 5 stores and see all their sale prices at twobrothersmattress.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Labor Day weekend starting out with the wildfire smoke. We'll call it moderate air quality today with hazy sunshine. Highs right around 87. Overnight, 61. Hazy. 92 for your Saturday. Sunny skies, but dealing with the haze. We keep that moderate air quality into Sunday. Partly cloudy, 94. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, it's 57 degrees downtown. This hour is going to be fun. We're talking college football on KSL News Radio. Coming up in a couple of minutes, I will be joined by the hosts of First and 12. Mitch Harper and Alex Curie will be with me here on KSL News Radio. Stream us live at kslnewsradio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Life can feel hard or overwhelming sometimes, but you don't have to face things alone. Getting help for yourself or someone you're worried about starts with a call or text to 988, where you always have someone to talk to, someone to help you, and somewhere safe to go. 988 Utah is here for anyone experiencing mental health challenges or emotional distress. 988 Utah can even help you navigate how to support your struggling loved ones. Whether you're struggling with anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, trained professionals are ready to listen and provide free, confidential support 24/7. Utah, don't hesitate to call or text 988 for you or someone you care about. The caring staff at 988 Utah can connect you to the right resources. Learn more at 988lifeline.org.
That precious cool air inside your house shouldn't be seeping out through old drafty windows, but if it does, get stylish new windows and frames at factory direct pricing from Advanced Window Products. This is Jeff Kaplan. Advanced Window Products has been building windows here in Salt Lake City for 38 years, but even if you don't need windows, they can give your interior a fresh new look with blinds, shades, and shutters from Graber. They offer custom crafted window treatments featuring the trendiest designs, premium materials, and quality without compromise. Advanced Windows offers start-to-finish service with shorter lead times so you get your custom blinds, shades, and shutters sooner. Call them for a free in-home consultation with their designers. It's a no-pressure experience, and if you need new windows, $2,500 off on 10 windows or more. Or if you need window treatments, it's Advanced Window Products, 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100, or go to AdvancedWindowsUSA.com.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation. Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card? Uh-huh. Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase. Really? Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
KSL News Time, 8:15. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
whether it's on the roads, in the airports, or at Utah's Mighty 5 national parks, you're going to encounter crowds this Labor Day weekend. I'm KSL News Radio's Don Brinker-Haas.
Second, the Provo versus Timpview high school rivalry game tonight has been canceled after several threats were made over social media. Third, traffic and weather together.
I-15 traffic is still delay-free in Salt Lake County, Davis County. Legacy delays are getting a little bit worse northbound in Bountiful. We've still got big slowdowns on Highway 6 in Spanish Fork because of a malfunctioning traffic light, and some northbound backups on Mountain View in Harriman and Riverton because of a traffic light malfunction. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hazy sunshine with highs in the 80s. We're back to 90s tomorrow. I'm Matt Johnson.
It's a pretty morning out there, and on the cool side, 57 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, and time for KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. NHL player Johnny Gaudreau killed Thursday night in New Jersey while riding a bicycle by an alleged drunk driver. His brother riding with him also killed. ESPN's Mike Greenberg.
Johnny Gaudreau was known as Johnny Hockey. He was a legend growing up in South Jersey. He starred at Boston College, where he was a national champion as a freshman in 2012. As a junior, he won the Hobie Baker Award in 2014 as the top player in the NCAA. Gaudreau then went to the National Hockey League and was an instant star in Calgary. In his 8 seasons with the Flames, he was an All-Star 6 times.
And Gaudreau was entering his 3rd season with the Columbus Blue Jackets. The government this morning reporting consumer prices rose just 2%, 0.2% that is, from June to July and remained low last month. Donald Trump's new campaign pledge vowing to make IVF treatments free without many details.
The IVF treatments are expensive. It's very hard for many people to do it and to get it. But I've been in favor of IVF right from the beginning.
ABC's Selena Wang.
Over the years, Donald Trump has flip-flopped on the issue of abortion, but his focus on IVF is clearly an attempt to blunt Harris's attacks that he would rip away women's reproductive freedoms.
You're listening to ABC News.
Let's talk sports now. We had several Big 12 football games last night, including Utah's blowout of Southern Utah, and a bunch more happening tomorrow. We've got you covered on all things Big 12 football here on KSL News Radio and the KSL Sports Zone. And joining me live now are the hosts of First and 12, which airs Sunday morning right here. Mitch Harper and Alex Keary. Good morning, you two.
Hey, Amanda.
Good morning.
So let's talk about First and 12. This show airs on Sunday morning. This is the second year for the show. What's coming up this weekend?
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's a 16-team Big 12, and BYU and Utah are in it together, so say no more. With those 2 teams in the league, it's going to be a lot of fun. And Alex and I, we bring a lot of energy and excitement and bring an in-depth perspective because this market's still learning about the Big 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's one thing that we get excited about too, Amanda. It's not just the rivalry game. I mean, obviously that's.
Ooh, did we lose out?
Also, just having big football is a huge deal, right? I mean, that's what we want is big time football, and that's what we're getting, and it's across the whole state. It's phenomenal.
What do you guys make of the trash talk against Utah? It must be hard for Utah being picked to win it in their first year in the league.
Yeah, it's not really it's not like, I mean, Kyle Whittingham, I know that they kind of do we're not in this position all the time of being the favorite, but they have been the favorite before, even in the Pac-12. And so I think that, they're playing the way that I think everybody knows that they're supposed to be playing. I think Kyle Whittingham loves that underdog kind of like, they're not supposed to do that much, but they are really, really good. They know it. Everybody else knows it too. There's not a single pundit in this country that doesn't put them either at the very top or number 2, maybe. I don't know. I mean, we've covered all this all off season, but it's phenomenal how much attention Utah's getting, and they deserve it. I mean, obviously, watch last night. There's a reason that Cam Rising is such a huge deal being back with the team.
Yeah. What do you think about tomorrow's game? BYU's kicking off the season, Mitch.
The big question is going to be at quarterback, and Jake Retzlaff's the guy that I believe is going to be that QB1, and BYU has just got to have success there at that quarterback position. There's never been a BYU team that you can look back on that was a good team that didn't have good quarterback play. So it's critical for Retzlaff or Bohannon to have success this season for BYU to be a lot more competitive in the Big 12, because year one, I think, was a little bit of a humbling experience. But Kalani Sitake, he's got this quiet confidence about this team that's really piqued my interest, and I'm curious to see what he has, trick up his sleeve to show Cougar fans and really the Big 12 as well.
How's BYU's defense looking, Alex?
Well, I mean, that's one thing that everybody's going to question this year, just to see what the development is year two for Jay Hill, who came down from Weber State. And he and Kalani have been working in that system for a long time, for a lot of years. But installing it is another thing, and having it take a little bit of time for these guys to figure it out. They lose Ben Bywater at the middle linebacker position, which is a huge loss for them. But they do have a lot of guys. And I know that, the depth has always been an issue going into these power conferences. But I think that, it's just as scary, Amanda. We don't know what we don't know, right? I mean, that's the best part of this time of year. So we're making so many guesses, and at the end, when the field actually gets filled up with some players and some things start to happen on Saturday, that's when we'll know. But I think Jay Hill is there's a reason he's paid as well as he is, that they wooed him down from Weber State, and that he's at BYU, and it's no coincidence that he's with, one of his old guys, Kalani. And I think that it makes a ton of sense that it's just going to make another leap, and certainly BYU fans are hoping for it.
Can't wait for tomorrow, and can't wait for the first and 12 show this Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon, and in podcast if you miss it, brought to you by Macy's Grocery Stores. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on Sunday.
You bet, Amanda.
Thanks, Amanda.
Mitch Harper and Alex Curie with me on KSL. Let's get another look at traffic and weather together. Brought to you by Sinclair's DinoPay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Andy?
Amanda, we've got some southbound delay on I-15 that's settled in between 5300 South and the 215 overpass in Murray. Might be a crash. We know it was some malfunctioning traffic lights that backed up Mountain View corridor at 13200 South in Riverton, but it looks like those lights are working again, so traffic is returning to normal cycle through there. And that's about it as far as delays. Heather?
Traffic is slowing down now on Legacy Parkway northbound from Woods Cross all the way into Centerville. It's due to lane restrictions. There's only the right shoulder available for traffic, and now we're getting just enough of that traffic that it's really starting to gum up the works as you head north. Both lanes are open southbound Legacy Parkway, no delays there, and you'll be at good speed southbound I-15 from Ogden to Salt Lake. Eric?
Well, the traffic lights are back working in Spanish Fork. That's good news for travelers on Highway 6. Still a little bit of residual delays on the northbound side because of the previous non-working status of the traffic lights. That was on Highway 6 at 800 North, right where the McDonald's is. So things should improve pretty quickly. I-15 across Utah County, not having a problem there, but we do have some eastbound I-80 slowing in through the mountains, and not through the mountains themselves per se, but past the Kimball Junction exit heading over to Silver Creek. The Hit the Road savings event is going on now. Save up to $120 on select Michelin tires now through September 29th after mail-in rebates and instant savings. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast starting out with temperatures right near the normal. 87 is the high, 88's the normal. Hazy sunshine. We keep that sunshine on the hazy side for your Saturday, 92 the high. Sunday, partly cloudy, 94. We cool it a touch to 93 on Monday, but a slight chance for storms there on Labor Day with breezy winds. Breezy again on Tuesday, partly cloudy, 92. Cooling to 89, mostly sunny on your Wednesday. Thursday's 88 with a couple of clouds. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now it's 57 degrees, and the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. This hour of Utah's Morning News is brought to you by my friends at Durden's Appliance, and Todd Hall is here. And Todd, it is the Black Friday sale now?
Absolutely. We're not going to wait until the day after you've cooked your best meal of the year to give you your best savings of the year. We're doing Black Friday savings right now so you can come in, save all the money, get your best deals, and enjoy your improved kitchen for the holidays.
So I go and I get it now, I install it now, and then before Thanksgiving, I'm already a pro in my new kitchen.
Absolutely. You're up and running. You can enjoy it. So if you're thinking about an upgrade, you don't need to wait, and you don't need to worry if you're going to pay more than you need to. You won't. This is going to be the best deals of the year.
You've got some specials, too, on specific brands.
Absolutely. So in addition to paying the lowest price, we're going to see GE, LG, and Whirlpool are all offering double rebates. You can get up to $3,700 in rebates from Cafe and Profile from GE and up to $4,000 from Monogram. And even if you wanted to save on the ultra-luxury brands like Sub-Zero and Wolf, you can get off to $2,500 of packages and even $700 of savings on a single item. So if you're thinking about like really doing that upgraded kitchen, the timing's great.
I was just on your website, durden'sappliance.com, and I see it's wonderful to be able to sort of take a look. But I encourage people to get into the showroom because you will learn things in that showroom.
But we're proud of both because we think that people need to see some information, and nearly everybody begins their purchase journey on the web. After a while, though, it can become a confusing sea of stainless steel rectangles. And if you want to find out what matters for you, what's going to work for your style, your cooking, and your budget, come on in, see it in a real kitchen, see how it's going to look in your home, and give it a try.
All I can tell you, folks, is that the best turkey I ever made was after I got that induction oven. I thought I was a fairly good cook, but I would dry things out, and it wasn't me. It was the oven.
Well, and the thing is, like, we had no idea how good a baker you were, Amanda, because But what you did find is what a lot of our customers find is with the right techniques and the right equipment, any of us can make gourmet meals.
Yeah. Where are you located, Todd?
We're at Fifth South and Bountiful. Brands you know at prices you love.
Mr. Mac, suiting for every important chapter of your life. Weddings, prom, new job, any celebration, mission callings, and more. Mr. Mac is there to suit your needs with 9 locations or MrMac.com.
The Utah RV Super Show, the premier RV event of the year, is back at the Mountain America Expo Center, Thursday, September 12th through Sunday, September 15th. Come see new 2025 models and special closeout pricing on all 2024 models. Bring a can of food for the Utah Food Bank and get $1 off per can, up to half off adult admission. Unplug from distractions and plug in to your family at the Utah RV Super Show. Discount passes at UtahRVSupershow.com.
Dave and Dujanovic. Hate and violence on social media canceling a high school rivalry football game tonight. The Provo District Superintendent saying police are even involved. We'll get the latest today in the 9 o'clock hour of the Dave and Dujanovic Show.
Watching Utah's Money brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. Good news for anyone traveling this holiday weekend. Gas Buddy predicts the national average price of gas will be $3.27 a gallon. That's the cheapest for the holiday since 2021 and 50 cents cheaper than last year. If you're heading out today, AAA reports that the average in Utah is at $3.58. The housing market has been struggling, and it shows. Home contract signings were at their lowest in 20 years in July. The National Association of Realtors Pending Home Sales Index was down 5.5%. Let's get a look at your money at this moment. The Dow is up 41 points. That's 0.1%. We're at 41,376. S&P's up 27, and the Nasdaq is up 118. Looks like the pace is slowing down a little, just below the norm if you're southbound on I-15 heading from Murray into Midvale at the South Interchange. We'll check that and the rest of your commute just ahead.
Hi, this is Doug Wright. The other night, Dee and I saw one of the very first performances of the Addams Family at Hale Center Theater. As we were walking out after the performance on the Jewel Box stage, Dee said, "This is my favorite performance so far on that stage at Hale Center Theater," and that is saying something. This is the story primarily of little Wednesday. She is not so little anymore. She's grown up, and she wants to marry a normal person. And bringing these two families together is really something, to say the least. One of my favorite scenes, Wednesday is agonizing over whether or not this is actually going to work. And she sings a song called Pulled, which is wonderful. But what's even more wonderful is she is joyfully torturing Pugsley all that time. There are production numbers, even great scenes for Lurch and Thing. Don't miss the Addams Family at Hale Center Theater, and so much more is still to come. Season tickets for next year, great performances this year. Go to hct.org for your tickets.
It's going to be a tumultuous election year.
I think that we're hitting a nerve. I think this is a different kind of a race.
I'm no stranger to unlikely journeys.
Get the fairest coverage from voices you trust. Tim and Amanda, mornings from 5 to 9. Conversation with Dave and Dujanovic at 9 and Boyd Matheson at 1. And on your drive home, get the latest and catch your breath with Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News at 3. It's hard to know what election year holds. We'll have you covered at KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Andy Farnsworth?
Amanda, we've got the lights working on northbound Mountain View, so that's back to normal in Riverton. Whatever was going on southbound 15, they've released the traffic. Looked like they slowed it down for a minute. So there's still some heavy traffic southbound 15 between 5300 South and 7200 South, but it's not backed up and it's moving fairly consistently now. Heather?
We still have lighter than normal traffic if you're coming through Weber and Davis County, especially southbound, trying to get into Salt Lake City. No problems on I-15 US 89. But you do have the lane restrictions on Legacy Parkway. This is northbound from Bountiful all the way up into the Centerville area. Traffic is pretty slow as you only have the right shoulder to use. Eric?
Get ready for some normal slowdowns if you're eastbound I-80 heading out to Park City this morning, just past the Kimball Junction exit. If you're going to stay in that right lane and exit at Silver Creek to go south on US 40, that's where the delays are going to happen. If you're getting into Park City, we are seeing a little bit of slowdowns now in Kearns Boulevard westbound into town. If you exit I-80 southbound 224 into Park City, that looks good. I-15 Utah County, no problems there. Durden's Appliance is offering Black Friday pricing now and no interest financing through 2026 on single appliance or whole kitchen packages on 5th South and Bountiful or DurdensAppliance.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today's high 87 degrees, sunny skies up to 92 tomorrow. Some thunderstorms on Monday, Labor Day. Right now, it's 59 degrees downtown.
You're listening to Utah's Morning News with Tim Hughes and Amanda Dixon
on KSL News Radio,
102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good morning. KSL News time is 8:30. Tim has the day off. KSL's top story this hour. KSL News Radio is the legacy radio home of the BYU football team, and their season kicks off tomorrow night. Joining me live on the KSL Newsline is the head coach of the Cougars, Kalani Sitake. How are you this morning, Coach?
Great, Amanda. How are you doing?
I'm doing just great. Does today feel a little like Christmas Eve to you?
It is. It couldn't get. I mean, it's finally got here, and the guys are really excited. We've worked really hard over the off season, but the players are ready to go, and it's about that time. Football season. It's a lot of fun.
It is for all of us, for sure. I was reading this morning, Coach, that that Aaron Roderick said that he thinks that he has someone. There's a clear-cut starter at quarterback. I know you won't tell us who the quarterback is, but do you agree with him?
Yeah, I think the entire program is probably, I think people kind of hearing a little bit of rumors about who it's going to be, but we feel good about all our quarterbacks. We just don't really need to show our hand. I think Southern Illinois is doing the same thing. It's just kind of part of the game. We're going to have a lot of fun, but we assure you that the person that's going to be under center is going to be a guy that deserves it and that's going to be very capable of leading this team.
How is L.J. Martin doing?
He's doing great. He's actually had a great off season as well, and he's been cleared, back to full health, and we're excited to see him play.
What does it feel like to have Utah join the conference and to have the two of you in the same conference again?
Well, we have a lot of respect for the program, and I think it just makes sense having Utah on our schedule, having our rivals on our schedule every year, and it makes sense for us to be in the same conference. So we're looking forward to that game wherever it lies in the schedule. But right now we're so focused on this game, but it's really good to see them in the conference with us, the same conference.
What do you think Cougar fans are going to see tomorrow night at the home opener?
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the atmosphere, the energy, it's what the fans bring. I know that this is our second year going to a power conference into the Big 12, but our fans have been power conference. I've been a power fan base from the very beginning, and so really looking forward to getting out there and entertaining them and showing all the hard work that has been put in place by these young men. And I think it's going to be a fun and an exciting moment.
How is your locker room this year, Coach? Do the guys, have they bonded together?
Yeah, obviously last year didn't go the way that we wanted it to, but adversity does something to you. It makes our guys a lot closer. It's a close-knit group. They love each other. They care about each other. I've watched them as they work hard through the off-season in the weight room, on the field running, but also it's the things that they do and being involved in this program, the service that they've done together, and just being vulnerable and leaning on each other. It's been really nice. I know there's a lot of people that doubt us, but there's also a lot of people that believe in us too. So we're really excited to get out there and make them right.
Yeah, I know that we talk a lot about the quarterback and running backs and wide receivers, but is there an unsung hero on this team that we need to look for?
I think there's a bunch of them. I think the lovely thing about football is that there's going to be some new names, and there's going to be some guys that are going to emerge into stardom, and it all starts in this first game. So I really can't predict it yet, other than we do have a lot of capable players and a lot of wonderful talent that can be out there, and they're excited to show themselves. And I think that we'll hear some names that have been really common to us, and I think a lot of the attention goes to the quarterback and to the running back, the guys that score the points. But that's BYU football, so I don't mind that happening. But there's also a bunch of guys that put it on to work. This is when someone scores and makes a big play. It's not just the guy that did it on the field. There's 10 others that make it happen.
What do you think about this matchup with Southern Illinois?
A really good team. Nick Hill's a great coach. He's coaching for his alma mater, and so he's going into his 9th season just like I am. So I know that he's got a great reputation. And looking at the things that he does with his team, they've been known to beat FBS opponents. I mean, that's what they've done the last 2 years. They're one of the few teams that has done that. And so 2 years ago beating Northwestern, and last year beating Northern Illinois. So we're not taking them lightly. We have 12 guaranteed opportunities to play this game this year, and we need to do our best in all 12 of them to earn an extra one, and to earn more time. That's what we're trying to do. We have a lot of respect for them and their program, but at the same time, we want to do our best, and it really doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure our guys show themselves and be at their best 12 times this year that we're guaranteed, and it all starts with number one.
Well, we'll be there tomorrow night. Coach, we love you, and we appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Love you too. Go Cougs. Thank you.
Go Cougs. Kalani Sitake with me on KSL News Radio. Let's get a look now at First Look Traffic, and back over to you, Andy.
Amanda, right now, if you're on I-15, you've got delay-free traffic through the Salt Lake and Davis counties. It's Legacy that's slow because of road work in West Bountiful on the northbound side. But other earlier City Street problems that we had in Salt Lake and Utah counties have cleared. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
The holiday travel rush is on, and UDOT says your best travel times today are before noon and then after 7 o'clock this evening. KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff begins our team coverage.
AAA recommends getting a quick inspection of things like tires and batteries. They also recommend packing an extra set of keys. If you're heading to Zion Canyon, Supervisory Park Ranger Charlie Reed says be ready for some heat.
We are expecting higher temperatures, possibly up into the hundreds. So we do really want people to be ready for heat, to be taking breaks in the shade, to be drinking water, eating snacks, have a good breakfast before you get out hiking, things like that.
He says it's also a good idea to plan the sites you want to see and to check any trails you're planning to hike to make sure they're not too much for you to handle. Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
Seems we've been setting records for the number of people traveling on the roads during holidays this year, and AAA's Jenna Tidwell says that'll continue.
Typically with any holiday, 85 to 90% of travelers go by car. It's the most convenient and likely the most cost-effective for a family.
AAA says domestic flight bookings are also up 9% this Labor Day weekend. We'll get another look at traffic and weather together. US 89 heading up the hill to South Ogden is slow because of a disabled vehicle. We'll check it next on KSL.
Spend time with KSL News Radio and get a deeper understanding of the world around us.
You've got voices like Boyd Matheson.
I enjoy his measured approach to things.
A very balanced view.
Inside Sources, weekdays 1 to 3.
On KSL News Radio.
None of these 7 people scored the winning touchdown in last year's championship game. None have gone into space or gone on tour with Taylor Swift. Yet 7 special people in the community deserve your attention. And September 7th at the Utah Valley Convention Center, starting at 6 p.m., you can give it to them. Join Community Action Services and Food Bank in celebrating the contributions of 7 extraordinary members of the community. Then see the premiere of the Food and More Store, a pop-up giving experience you can only experience at this event. Plus, you'll have the chance to peek inside their new mobile food pantry. Dinner, live music, entertainment. Get details now on how you can be a part of this exceptional community night. Visit casfb.org and learn more about the evening, the individuals being honored, and how to be there to take it all in. casfb.org. Community Action Services and Food Bank, providing food and more to neighbors in need in Wasatch, Summit, and Utah counties.
Beehive Plumbing now offers premier service. 10 years of coverage on both parts and labor. Call or visit beehivepremier.com for expert experience every time.
A secure retirement just doesn't happen by accident.
When that day comes, what's most important to you? Are you sure to have more money than month? What about unexpected medical costs? Do you want to leave something to the kids or the grandkids? I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know we specialize in these questions and can help make your retirement dream a reality with some of the highest guarantees in the business. Imagine getting up to a guaranteed 12% growth on your retirement income and up to a 30% bonus up front just for opening an account. If you have funds sitting idle in an old 401k or IRA, consider guaranteeing it to secure the peace of mind you deserve. Don't leave your financial security to chance. Take advantage of the highest guarantees I've seen in my career. Call Trajan today at 801-899-7600. That's 801-899-7600. Or visit us online at TrajanWealth.com.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
8:39 traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. And back over to you, Andy.
Man, getting a report of a crash on westbound 80 just before you get to the airport turn off to Bangor Highway. Looks like it might be starting to slow a little bit in the area. Some southbound slowing on 215 right before the 21st South Freeway turnoff has showed up. And a little bit of brake tapping on North 15 around 90th South and Sandy at the moment. Heather?
We've got some big delays now on US 89 northbound as you pass I-84. Try to head up to Harrison Boulevard intersection. This is due to a stalled vehicle just before you get to Harrison Boulevard. It's blocking the right lane and shoulder. Everybody has to move into the one left lane that is available, and that's causing the delays. You also have very slow traffic on Legacy Parkway northbound from Woods Cross all the way into Centerville. That's due to lane restrictions with just the right shoulder available. Eric?
I-15 looks fine in Utah County. Some of the stoplights in Provo on University Avenue and 500 West are getting a little bit clogged up. At least the one big intersection problem we had in Utah County is all better now because the lights are working in Spanish Fork, Highway 6 at 800 North, where things were really backed up on the northbound side while that didn't work. I can't afford to downsize my home. An accessory dwelling unit could be your answer. Visit ADUutah.com for information. ADU Utah, Utah's #1 ADU specialist. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Normal high for today is 88. We'll hit 87 with sunny skies and, yes, moderate air quality courtesy of wildfire smoke. Hazy overnight with clear skies, 61 the low. 92 for your Saturday afternoon, hazy sunshine. We'll keep that hazy sunshine with a couple more clouds on Sunday with a high of 94. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now in downtown Salt Lake City, it's 59 degrees. Coming up in just a moment, I can't wait for this. We're going to speak with the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell, joins me here on KSL News Radio. You can stream us live at kslnewsradio.com or on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. This hour of Utah's Morning News is brought to you by Durden's Appliance. My friend Todd Hall is here. Todd, I encourage people to get into your showroom today or anytime this weekend and see the live kitchens. And you know what? If you want to know what that new stove is going to cook like, bring something and cook it there.
Absolutely. You know, we love the idea that you can try it before you buy it and actually know how it's going to look in a real kitchen, how it's going to function. We think that people deserve better than to see it just unboxed on a concrete floor. Now, you're not going to pay a penny more. We match all the national chains' lowest price on every model. We update that every day to make sure you're paying the lowest price. But a lot of times people really want to know how it's going to look and feel and often change their minds once they get into the showroom.
Yeah. I was just referring a friend of mine to you because he's getting married and buying all new appliances. And I said, you should go now because they're having their Black Friday sale right now.
Absolutely. You know, this is something that the kitchen industry got right, over the last couple of years is nobody wants to upgrade their kitchen today after they cook their best meal of the year. So we're doing our Black Friday savings right now. You can get the lowest prices of the year, get a great deal stacked with some great rebates, and enjoy it for the holidays.
So we want you to know the price you get today, it's not going to be any better on the day after Thanksgiving. It's the price. It's the big sale price today.
Absolutely. And in addition to paying the lowest price of the year, we've got some great rebates. GE and LG are offering some great package rebates with up to $4,000 for Monogram. If you really want to get the elite product, even Sub-Zero and Wolf are offering package rebates on either full kitchens or single pieces. So come on in and try it before you buy it.
I encourage people to go to DurdensAppliance.com. That's DUERDENS appliance.com. And by the way, you can actually chat with the real person.
Absolutely. If you're chatting and you want to, if it's just convenience and you need a single item replaced, The person you're talking to is a real appliance specialist on the sales floor. It's not a call center. It's not a robot.
Yeah, but I tell you, the package is the way to go. We did a new kitchen with you a couple years ago, and I just love it. All right, and I love supporting a family business, too. Can I just say that?
Oh, thank you. And we've been around since 1957.
Wow. Where are you located, Todd?
We're at 5th South and Bountiful. Brands you know it. Prices you love.
Most people that come in have tried many, many different things to get themselves out of pain, and nothing has worked for them. And eventually they make their way to us, and that's when good things happen.
You're listening to Alex, an arch support specialist at the Good Feet store.
A woman came in complaining of extreme pain, and she was concerned that she wasn't able to play with her grandchildren. I fitted her for the arch supports, I put them in her shoes, and she took a couple steps and she started crying because she knew then that she would be able to begin doing the things that she wanted to do with them.
For over 25 years, the Good Feet store and our arch support specialists have been helping folks live the life they love without foot, knee, hip, or back pain getting in the way.
I called her a week later. She thanked me profusely. She was able to do those things that she wasn't able to do before, and she had a new lease on life. Those kind of Good Feet stories happen all the time. It's fantastic.
Try them for yourself. Stop in for a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store. Call 1-800-NEW-FEET or visit goodfeet.com.
KSL News Time, 8:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
unhealthy air quality is expected for this Labor Day weekend. Smoke from an Idaho wildfire will continue moving south today, bringing hazy skies and smoky air to northern and central Utah. I'm KSL News Radio's Alessandra Gurr.
Second, a rivalry high school football game tonight between Provo and Timpview has been canceled because of threats made over social media. Third, traffic and weather together.
Had a crash westbound 80 just before the airport, but despite having vehicles on the right and left sides, it's having little impact and creating no backups at the moment. We do have some northbound 15 slowdowns around 90 south in Sandy and some northbound slowdowns on Legacy Parkway through West Bountiful. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hazy skies today with temperatures warming into the weekend, even some thunderstorm chances. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, 61 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, and time for KSL's top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. NHL hockey player and New Jersey native Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew killed last night while riding their bikes in southern New Jersey. The alleged drunk driver who hit them is being held. Vice President Kamala Harris giving her first in-depth interview to CNN since President Biden dropped out of the race. ABC's Mary Bruce watched.
I think this was a do-no-harm kind of interview for Kamala Harris. She succeeded in the fact that she was able to get this interview done. She didn't make any big waves, didn't make any big headlines, but that also is considered a win. You know, in many ways, she was under a lot of pressure to do this interview. She can now check that box and look ahead.
Former President Trump saying if he's elected again, he'll make IVF fertility treatments free without saying who would pay. The Commerce Department reporting this morning that consumer prices rose just 0.2% from June to July, and that inflation stands at 2.5%, only slightly higher than the 2% target rate that the Fed wants to reach before lowering rates. This is ABC News.
Would you like to go to the game tomorrow? BYU kicks off their season at LaVell Edwards Stadium. Here is the key word for you to text when it's safe for you to do so. Text this word to 57500. The word is yard. Simple enough. YARD. That's it. Text that to 57500 and good luck to you. Joining me now live on the KSL Newsline is the radio play-by-play voice of the BYU Cougars, Greg Wrubell. How are you, Greg?
I'm well. Good morning, Amanda.
Are you excited for the season?
You know, I never stop being excited. I love this time of year. Every year, this job never gets old. I've loved it for years and decades now, and I've never lost that energy that comes with kicking off a new season, and I can't wait for tomorrow to get here.
And we love it right along with you, Greg. And I know this season, the second season in the Big 12, there are a lot of expectations. Do you think that's weighing on the team at all?
I think it's motivating the team. I think the way last season ended, and remember, Amanda, last year BYU started 3-0, then 5-2, and at 5-2, you're one win away from a bowl game. And, you know, first year in the Big 12, what a nice benchmark, right, to play in the postseason in your first year in Power Conference football. Well, that one win never came as they lost their last 5 games of the year. And so the way last season ended did a couple of things. I think it brought a few players back that didn't like the way last year ended and felt they had unfinished business. And it also motivated Kalani Sitake to make some changes in his staff. So a couple coaching changes were made, and certainly approaches were adjusted to make sure they could avoid that kind of scenario in 2024. And so then when you couple that with the fact that BYU's picked to finish third from the bottom in the Pac-12, there are a lot of reasons that this BYU team can catalog as to motivational tactics in 2024. And I guess the cliche would be chip on your shoulder, but it's kind of a real thing with this team. And they don't feel like it's idle talk. They really do feel they have the pieces to back it up. I think last year, when BYU was also picked to finish third from the bottom in the Big 12, the reason then was that people didn't really know a lot about that team.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, the reason for the low ranking is people think they do know about this year's team based on last year. And BYU's out to show what you saw last year wasn't who we are in 2024. There's a lot of continuity back, a lot of attention, of course, on the quarterback position, but around that quarterback, a lot of reps and snaps and meaningful games from last year return in 2024.
And I'm excited to see the defense this year, too.
Jay Hill's second year as defensive coordinator, and he, too, thinks that a second year with this group will pay dividends. They know his scheme a little better. They hope to be a little more disruptive defensively, a little more pressure in the backfield. I think a deeper secondary will help the players up front to accomplish that goal. The headline guy, Amanda, is Tyler Batty. He is somebody who NFL scouts thought could have gone to the league last year. He decided to come back, and it's a massive thing for this team. So starting defensive end Tyler Batty is a captain and somebody the team will really rally around to hopefully improve those defensive numbers from last season.
Well, how do the players feel about having Utah in the conference this year?
Well, it's not the last game of the year, which it used to be, of course, when BYU and Utah were league mates back in the day. But it's a November game. And the fact that it will mean something greater than it has over the last 10 to 11 seasons is important. And who knows how much it will mean at that time in early November, what it will mean for both teams in terms of a conference race. But it does mean the rivalry is back in a consistent, formal, meaningful way every year. And it's been a long time since we've been able to see that. I know that we had Jacob Robinson on our coaches show on Tuesday, and it might have been during a commercial break that a fan was chatting with him and asked him what game he maybe looking most forward to, and with the smile on his face, he's like, the Utah game is going to be great, and that's kind of I think the belief of everyone on the team. And I mean, no game's more important than the one this Saturday, and then the SMU game will follow. But I think everyone is excited to have Utah back on the schedule that way as a conference game.
We'll be listening tomorrow night and every game. Greg, thank you for your time.
Amanda, always a pleasure. Hope to talk to you again soon. Thank you.
I hope so, too. Greg Wrubell, the play-by-play voice of the BYU Cougars here. We are a little late. My apologies. Traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's DinoPay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Andy?
Amanda, it's looking pretty good. Traffic's pretty light. I-15, we've got a crash westbound 80 just after 215 with vehicles to the right and left. You might slow just a bit as you pass by. Heather?
Your worst traffic in Davis County is US 89 northbound between I-84 and Harrison Boulevard. It's due to a stalled vehicle blocking the right lane and shoulder. Eric?
Clean drive in Utah County, northbound I-15. Likewise, Tooele County drivers northbound out of Tooele up to I-80 looking good. Common Spirit, hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advanced healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with Human Kindness is here. Hello, Human Kindness. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast has a hazy, smoky start to your Labor Day weekend. 87 today with moderate air quality, sunny skies. We keep that air quality in the moderate for your Saturday, 92 sunny. Hazy with a couple of clouds on Sunday, 94. Starting to clear the smoke by Monday, 93, but a slight chance for storms and breezy. Breezy south winds on your Tuesday, partly cloudy, 92. Mostly sunny, cooling to 89 by Wednesday. Thursday's 88, couple of clouds. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
62 degrees in the 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. We'll check money news next.
It's happening at pharmacies all across America. Older Americans keep asking, where are the lower prices on prescription drugs Joe Biden and Kamala Harris keep taking credit for? First, Harris cast the deciding vote for the Inflation Reduction Act, promising to lower drug prices. Then the Biden-Harris administration used the money from Medicare to bankroll their liberal green agenda. That's right. Instead of savings, seniors got a 20% premium increase, restrictions on access to medicine, and fewer cures. Now, liberals want to expand this Biden-Harris scheme that is already hurting seniors. Thankfully, Congressman Blake Moore has always fought to protect Medicare drug coverage. Call him at 202-224-3121. Urge him to keep fighting for affordable drug coverage by opposing H.R. 4895. Paid for by Seniors for Better Care.
If you ordered a steak sandwich and they served you bologna, you'd be ticked off.
B-O-L-O-G-N-A or B-A-L-O-N-E-Y. It doesn't matter how you spell it. It's still bologna.
Hi, this is Jason.
And Kathy of Window World.
We could go on and on about Window World, but folks, it's all about you.
Your home and what you need.
Window World is America's #1 window replacement company.
Call Window World at 801-281-8111.
Or check windowworldutah.com. And as Doug always said,
that's no baloney.
Hey, this is Dan, the laptop man from PCLaptops.com. I've been advertising with KSL Radio for decades now, and radio works. With all the clutter on social media, radio cuts through all the noise and gets directly into your customer's brain. If you're a small business and want to reach the local audience here in Salt Lake City, KSL Radio is the way to go.
If you'd like to know more about the benefits of advertising with KSL News Radio, email Stephanie Palmer at spalmer@ksl.com. Today, join KSL News Radio and NPS from 10 to 1 as the movie show stops by. Then browse and uncover what makes NPS so great. With 4 locations, NPS takes in new inventory every day. Then they check all competitors' retail pricing before marking items down 20 to 70% off. You're invited to visit the movie show today from 10 to 1, and that's the first step to discovering NPS. Visit npsstore.com to begin your own NPS adventure. npsstore.com.
And the news is sponsored by NPS. NPS has brand new products with savings of 30 to 70% off every single day. NPS. Let's get a look now at Watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. The markets are up this morning. The Dow's up 54 points. That's 0.1%. We're at 41,389. S&P's up 29. That's 0.5%. The Nasdaq is up 128. That is 0.75%. Coming up in just a moment, we'll get another look at your morning commute. We will be with you all afternoon as well for traffic headed out of town for the holiday weekend here on KSL News Radio. This hour of Utah's Morning News is brought to you by Durden's Appliance, and my friend Todd Hall is here. And Todd, I always encourage people to go into the showroom because we bought a new dishwasher from you before we had ever been to the showroom because one of ours went out. But when I went into the showroom and I saw those gorgeous live kitchens, and I don't even know how many you have, like 10, right?
We're up to 12 live kitchens now, yeah.
There are combinations of things and designs that I didn't know were options.
Yeah, that's the fun part about it, is that we want you to be able to see what you're going to buy. You deserve better than to see it unboxed on a concrete floor. How's it going to look in a real kitchen? How's it going to fire up? And find something that's right for your kitchen and your budget.
I want to emphasize budget, too, because you really do have everything from the high end to a beginner, appliance.
Absolutely. We carry things at every price point, and we hope that you'll like a nice showroom better, but you'll never pay more. We deliberately look every morning. Our website's combing all of the national chains for every model and pricing it with the lowest price it sees.
But I want people to know, we always talk about how you save money on Black Friday. You've decided you put the Black Friday prices this weekend so we can get the kitchen in before Thanksgiving.
You can, and you can take advantage of those Black Friday now savings, either coming into the kitchen or, sometimes we're a little busy and we just want to either get it done. If you've got something that's broken, if you've got something you're just a little tired of, you can get it taken care of from your living room, from your office. Look at our website. You can chat with appliance professionals to help you make the final decision if you need to, and we'll take care of it, set it up for delivery this weekend.
Plus, you've got some specials on various name brands.
Absolutely. So in addition to paying the lowest prices you're going to see all year, you can get package rebates from GE Cafe up to $3,700 on Cafe and Profile. And if you really want to aspire to the elite brands like Sub-Zero and Wolf, they're offering up to $2,500 on packages and up to $700 on a single item.
I hope this weekend goes so well. I'm sure it will. Todd, tell everybody how to find you.
We're at 5th South and Bountiful. Brands you know it. Prices you love.
Don't be worried. Be ready.
KSL News Radio has partnered with Be Ready Utah to provide the plans your family needs for an emergency, the tools and supplies to keep on hand, and the knowledge on how to keep a cool head.
It's Be Ready Utah. Listen to our show, Dave and Duchanovic, for Be Ready tips and tools.
Or you can always find the latest preparation info at BeReadyUtah.gov.
Be Ready Utah with KSL News Radio.
8:59 traffic and weather to